Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. If you guys didn't know, there is one more update left for the end of the year 2023. That's right, we still have yet another update to be released, and even another event, but today we are going to talk about some things coming in that newest update as they have just been announced, and they are premium rank 7 ground vehicles, and we are now getting rank 8 ground vehicles at the very top of the tech tree. So whether this means that we're going to be getting some brand new top tier vehicles, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they're just going to be taking the top of the top rank 7 and putting them into rank 8. Not entirely sure what they're going to do because we're already really advanced with ground vehicles, but it is what it is. Now, that being said, we have 2 premium rank 7s that have been announced as of today for the newest update, and they are the Challenger 2 OES and the M1A1 HC. Very strange, but yeah, there's going to be a premium M1A1 HC called Clickbait. It'll be kind of like the M1128 Wolfpack, except of course with the M1A1 HC. So very interesting. It'll be about the same exact thing as a standard M1A1 HC, except this has a little bit of lawn furniture on top of it. I know that sounds very strange, but there is literally a lawn chair on top of this tank, and I think that's what makes this thing special. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's got everything that's the same. I mean, it's got the text clickbait and also some victory markings on the barrel, so it does take after a real life M1A1 HC, but that's it. There's nothing really too special about this other than the fact that it is a premium that takes after what I assume to be a real-life M1A1 HC with a lawn chair on top of it. Next up, we have the Challenger 2 OES. This is the operational entry standard and is essentially going to be like a slightly better Challenger 2 TES. Being that the Challenger 2 TES is 11.3 VR, I wouldn't be surprised if this is 11.3 as well, possibly 11.7. Not entirely sure if that's the case, but I suppose it could be. Now, it does have additional slat armor and all that. It doesn't really indicate that this has any better engine compared to the TES, but it does indicate that it will weigh a touch more, which I guess is the British way when it comes to tanks. Just keep on adding weight, but you don't really improve the engine power for whatever reason, and thus this will likely be a touch slower than the TES. But of course, these are pre-orderable, so if you do purchase them ahead of time, they do come with pre-order bonuses. So the M1A1 HC Clickbait pack will come with the Devil Dog title, which indicates this is obviously a marine vehicle, and also the Teufelhunden decal, which is kind of cool. And then if you do the same with the Challenger 2 OES, it doesn't really actually indicate, at least as of right now in this dev blog, whether or not you'll get anything special, but I'm sure you will. It just doesn't show it presently for whatever reason here. But you know what? That's actually a pretty standard Gaijin move. They release like these half-baked dev blogs all the time with spelling errors, statistical errors, a lot of errors in them that are pretty major errors. Either that or they're just simply incomplete, and then they edit them and then put them back up. It's a very weird thing because it makes it look like I'm pulling this information from my butt, but ultimately this is the information that I have, and it seems to be incomplete on the dev blog as of right now. Now, that being said, again, we are getting rank 8 ground vehicles. As I said before, we're already pretty much at the top when it comes to technology. Like, we already have some of the most modern tanks in the world in War Thunder in this game. I mean, of course, not the most modern. We might see something like a T90M, but things like the M1E3, for example, they are under development, you know? Like, there are a lot of tanks that are still under development as of present. Like, the T14 Armada, it's not even a real production tank as far as anyone knows. Only a few of them have ever been made, and quite honestly, we don't really know all too much about it. And that's the thing, there are a lot of tanks out there that are in development or literally brand new over like the last year or two, like variants of tanks, and we know very little about them. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what Gaijin does. My feeling is that Gaijin is just going to be taking a lot of the top level rank 7 ground vehicles and then moving them up to rank 8. I think it's just going to be that. You might get a few new rank 8 vehicles with this patch, and I think that's going to be done to justify the addition of rank 8 ground vehicles, but I really don't see all too much more. Now, they might be increasing the overall BR, which would be nice in terms of decompression, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to happen or to what degree. But ultimately, you guys need to know, and I do have videos on how the tiering system works, having a new tier doesn't necessarily mean anything good. In fact, actually, it could be a bad thing. Typically, it is a bad thing for the player base because the way that tiers work, it's purely an economic thing in War Thunder. So with any regular tech tree vehicle, you can only research up one tier from your current tier. So for example, if you have like a tier 5 tank, you can only research tier 6 and tier 4 without having any RP penalty. And these RP penalties can get upwards of 90 or I believe 95% if you research far enough out of it. And even if you have a premium vehicle, you can research every tier before yours plus one from where you are. So if you have a rank 6 ground vehicle, for example, you can research through rank 7, but you cannot research through rank 8. You'd have to either buy a rank 7 premium, or you're going to just have to grind your way up through rank 7 vehicles, and of course be handed with that slog of just grinding through the regular tech tree, as a lot of people end up doing. But again, it does end up being a bit easier with premium vehicles, but as you see an increase in tiers, all that means is that the previous premium vehicles that worked through the current top tier will no longer work through the current top tier without a research penalty, which really sucks. But again, I've got a video explaining all of that, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll try to find it and link it down below, but otherwise, you can probably just find it real easy on YouTube under my War Thunder Explained series. But either way, thanks so much for watching. Very interesting vehicles coming to War Thunder in that they aren't very interesting. They seem like pretty much the same as we always had, except of course these are premium variants of vehicles more or less already in game, just with slight changes. So we'll have to see if they are good or not, but as always, I will be releasing a review once they come out. By the way, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.